All right, hey guys, Jason here. We are up here. We are at Savannah Toyota. I've not been here before, never been here before, but me and Tina were up here in Savannah looking at going to some furniture stores looking for a new sofa setup, and we got done eating dinner and we were right across the street at Outback and saw this and thought, let's drop in here. They had this on the lot, which grabs my attention. Now, this is the iForce Max one, and you guys know me personally, I do not want the hybrid. I would not get the iForce Max, but this, what we have here, is the 4Runner in a TRD off-road trim. Forget the iForce Max. Again, you can get it in a TRD off-road with or without the hybrid engine. I would prefer it without the hybrid myself personally. Now, with that said, this right here, why are we talking about it again? And we've been through them before and that kind of thing. It's mainly because honestly, when we look at the stuff that's out there today, if I was buying an SUV today for anybody, for a family vehicle, for a me and Tina vehicle, for a use all the time vehicle, if I was buying just an SUV for myself, obviously it'd be a Wrangler. That would be, if I was replacing my Gladiator with an SUV, it would be a Wrangler that I would be getting. But if I was looking for a family SUV for us, this would be it right here. This exact one, probably even the same color, probably everything about it right here. The exception being that I would actually go bigger tires. I would probably go bigger tires, even if I had to put a little bit of a lift on it, but I would end up going somewhere in the neighborhood of probably a 34. It would all be relevant to what I could fit underneath there. I know there's a lot of guys doing 35s on them even too, and on a Tundra or the Tacomas, but it would be like probably a 34, minimum 33, but probably a 34-inch tire on this is what I would do for it. Again, for the aggressiveness, the look, because I like it, but and the off-road capability. It would be a TRD off-road trim because I want the rear locker, I want the MTS, I don't care about crawl control, really don't even care that much about the MTS, but I definitely want the rear locker for when we're off-road and we're doing stuff like that. Even if we're just trailing, I want to have that availability, and I think the TRD off-road trim is by far the sexiest and most bang for your buck in a trim. So that would make this vehicle right here, this would be the SUV that I would buy. Again, just going a little bit bigger tire, and we can do that on this. We know that. Same with the Tacoma. Even if that meant putting a small little bump in there, I probably would. I think it looks good this way too, but I would, I know there's guys, like I said, running 35s on these things. I would not have a problem putting a bigger tire on that. But what's it getting us? Okay, what are we getting it? Why would I say that this is that SUV? Well, Japanese made. 100% Japanese made. We love that factor about it. True Japanese style Toyota. The motor is the same thing that's in the Tacoma. That motor has proven itself very, very well and is doing a really good job. They offer this as a hybrid and a non-hybrid, whereas the Land Cruiser, there was a Land Cruiser around here somewhere, we did see one, but the Land Cruiser only comes in a hybrid. I do not want a hybrid. You have to understand who I am and how I feel, and I do not want anything to do with a hybrid. Cannot stand it. I have one right now too. I have my dad's minivan that I have to sell as soon as the title work comes in and all this stuff from after his passing. It's a 2023 Sienna van, and that gets divided up among all the grandkids and all that stuff. But I have that van, and I do not like hybrids. I do not want the battery, so I do not want the iForce Max. 4Runner at least gives me that option, just like the Tacoma does. Tacoma gives me the option to be iForce Max if I want it, or to not be iForce Max, and I love that availability. So 4Runner wins hands down for that aspect of it for me there. Now, why the actual 4Runner over anything else out there? Well, there's really not many things out there. There's a Bronco. I'm not interested in a Bronco. Honestly, you know, we all have our little pet peeves and our pickiness things. In a Bronco, I think it feels way too big for what it is. For me personally. And then the other thing, I cannot stand how every time you open and close the doors, the windows go up and down a little bit. It drives me nuts. It is like such a pet peeve that would drive me crazy just knowing that it does that every single time you open and close the door. Maybe a little big, maybe not a big deal to many people. To me, it would drive me absolutely crazy. And then the 2.7 motor that I like in it a lot, your 2.7, the problem is the alternator sits too low, so it does really bad when it comes to water crossings. I'm in the south, in the swamp, flooded areas, water crossings all the time. I do not want the 2.7 version of that because of the low alternator. The 2.3, better for that, but also a lot less power. So it kind of rules a Bronco out. The Wrangler I would take. there's a lot of other great vehicles out there, but I really love the chiseled look of this. There's nothing else that Ford makes or Chevy makes or anybody else that makes that I think is going to be more reliable. Okay, they're all about even. There's a wash there. There's no benefit to anything else. They're all very similar, but this one still has the off-road chomps in the fact that it is a TRD off-road trim. The TRD off-road trim offers the most bang for the buck, more so than a TRD Pro all day long. This is my favorite setup and same for a Tacoma. TRD off-road. This is a trim, and it is a very good one. But this one right here, I think, wins and takes the cake for me. We got pretty good towing capability on it still. We have the beautiful fact of the window that still rolls down in the back end of this thing. Chiseled look. I mean, the look of this thing and the chiseled effect of it, I honestly think it's much better looking than the last Gen 4Runner was. My personal opinion. Yours may be different. I definitely don't think that it's as reliable or the motor's as good or even that the quality of the build is as good as the last Gen. But because the last Gen is gone, and I've sold this is a heck of a lot funner to drive than a last Gen 4Runner. I know. Hang on, bikes, people. But I owned the last Gen 4Runner, and I have drove 2 of these now, and I tell you, hands down, this thing is a absolute riot to drive comparatively. It's fun. It's sporty, it's peppy, it's got some attitude, it's got some punch, got a lot of great features going for it. So for me personally, like I said, this would be it right here. You got a lot of capability in this new one, and the prices are pretty good. Now, unfortunately, this one here is the iForce Max, so it's going to be more, but it does not have a price on it. But I'll show you some if I remember. I'll put some in there. They don't have any window stickers in this one. But the price is not too unreasonable on these. You know, you're talking mid-40s for a TRD off-road trim without the hybrid. That is a pretty good price, maybe even upper 40s, but you're still in the $40,000 price range for an SUV like this with these kind of capabilities. And again, I go throw in another $1,500 in tires. Like here, this one's got the, from Southeast Toyota Distributors, they're charging you $1,500 for Nitto Ridge Grapplers. I would not buy it with that package, or if I did, I'd be selling these tires immediately, but I'd rather not have that package because they're charging you $1,600 for these tires. I'd rather go bigger, and I'd rather do them my way. So we would be making some changes on it. The color, I love the color. Mud bath color is really nice, but it's kind of wore out. There's some of the other colors they make is neat, but on this, same with the Tacoma, my opinion, with the blacked out fender flares that you get on the TRD off-road, how they pop and come to life. The roof rack setup on this thing, I love their new steps. I love these so much better than a Predator steps. Look at how nice these steps are. Rock solid, and look at their high profile and how tight they are to the body line. Love this step. This is the step that matters, not that, again, I'm not a fan of the Predator step at all. And because, I mean, you think about it, a Predator step hung down lower than what even these do. When you put the steps on there, they were even worse than that. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the Predator step. I love this new 4Runner step 1,000 times. I'm looking to see if I see a Predator step anywhere. I don't even know if they're doing them still up here now. I mean, they changed stuff around. I'm not seeing any, but love, absolutely love this step that we have on this 4Runner. Love everything about this 4Runner. Crazy thing is, like I said, if I was buying an SUV today to make a family SUV for me and Tina and to be able to carry rolling around and do that stuff we were looking for an SUV, this would be the one I would buy today. You heard me say many times I won't buy another Toyota, and I probably won't, and I can say that because we're not looking for one. But when I put my bias away, when I put my attitude about Toyota and how they piss me off sometimes away and how they treat customers, I stick all that aside and I just look at the vehicles that are out there, vehicle for vehicle, that's the one I would buy today in this size SUV. It is what it is. Let me know what you're thinking. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.